People hate Samus, and I know, you might be a Samus enjoyer or a Sheik player, and you might not mind her at all, but there are a ton of players, good and bad, who hate this character. But why is that? Is any of it justified? And why does none of it seem to apply to this guy? Well, first, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Yeah, you're seeing that right. That's intangibility from frames 1 through 5, and an obnoxious hitbox that starts on frame 3. Combine these two things, and you end up with situations like this. And the kicker, she can do it out of shield, giving Samus one of the best options out of shield in the entire game. And, okay, sure, you have to respect her shield, but one option is not going to cause that much hate. But, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Samus is heavy, the third heaviest character in the game to be exact. And this leads to some insane situations, such as her living Falco down smash on Dreamland at 185%, when it kills Falcon a few percent earlier than that. But again, it's melee, it's not ultimate. Just because a character can live to 180% doesn't mean they are going to live to 180%, right? Just edgeguard. Samus, while being the third heaviest character in the game, is in contention for the best recovery in melee. She has bomb stalls to help her recover, the longest tether in the game, many different timing mix-ups with her air dodge, a wall jump, and not to mention a very strong up B that we talked about just a few moments earlier. This character is so difficult to edgeguard. And hey, now that I think about it, that kind of sounds like another character I know. Heavy, floaty, insane recovery. So what's the difference? Why does Samus feel so unkillable compared to Peach? Well, it's what happens when both of these characters are forced to grab the ledge. Peach has to commit to some Father Sakurai intended option, and if you hard read her option, you can kill her very early. Samus, on the other hand, has an aerial interrupt. One of the most practical aerial interrupts to do in melee, and it gives her 11 frames of invincibility. It's such a good option, and it lets Samus threaten immediate, huge, invincible hitboxes right off of the ledge, so the opponent has to respect her coming off of the ledge. But okay, let's say you finally hit Samus. Now it's go time. Well, not really. As one of the heaviest and one of the floatier characters in the game, Samus is the perfect combination of completely uncomboable. That's not to say she can't get destroyed sometimes, it's still melee. But this is not going to be a matchup where you're going to get many 0 to deaths. You're going to have to wear her down, win neutral over and over again, and eventually, finally, kill her. So, Samus is floaty, she's heavy, she has some of the best defense and recovery in the game, but we still haven't talked about the last point. She can't really approach. And this is not really even Samus players' fault. She has a super high short hop, making it really hard for her to do approaching aerials. She also has a really slow grab, meaning she can't threaten grounded opponents with grab like she can. But do you know what she does have? Projectiles. 2 really strong ones. Missile and Charge Shot allow Samus to put a lot of pressure on her opponents to approach her, where she can then leverage her insane defensive tools. So yeah, that's all to say, while she may not be, planking, Samus players are going to be playing pretty defensive. But despite all the reasons I just covered, people love this guy. There is even a whole channel dedicated to uploading Samus videos. Most of those videos only get hundreds of views. The videos of Plup get thousands of views. And yes, I'm sure some of this is due to the fact that people just love Plup. He's one of the most beloved top players. But it's more than that. There's something special about his Samus specifically. This is my grand theory. I think people think melee characters are hype based off their combos and lame based off their neutral game. So even if a player has a very defensive playstyle, if their combos are hype enough, people will love the player and think they're hype. Take Mewtwo for example. Sure, he does have a few haters, but people generally love this guy. And let's be honest, he does not always have the most entertaining neutral game. A lot of the times, he really is straight up planking. But man, once he gets a hit, it's some of the most hype gameplay we've ever seen. And he has tons of fans who love him for that. Now, let's take another example. The top Peach player, Lod. I think Laud plays one of the most insane, complex neutral games in the world. But once he gets a hit, well, it's a little cookie cutter, and no one really thinks about him as an insanely hyped player. This brings me back to Plup. Yes, his Samus uses up B out of shield. Yes, he has the same insane, unedgeguardable recovery. Yes, he uses Samus's insane defensive tools. However, whenever he gets a hit, it's always so amazing to watch. Take the Leffen set from Evo. There are more highlights from this set alone than most Samus players will put up in the entire year, and it's on one of the biggest stages. As a spectator, we don't have to deal with the fact that Plup is doing a bunch of up B out of shield. We can just lose our minds from the insane combos he's hitting on Leffen. The reality is though, the next Samus that you play at your local or on unranked is not hitting you with a combo like this. So you're not going to be nearly as forgiving when they hit you with the 5th wave dash back down smash. But yeah, I think that sums up the big differences pretty well. You know, I think if Plup weren't hitting Zane with super wave dash, extendo grapple, grab, down throw nair. Okay, hold on. Play that back. That's one of my favorite combos that's ever been done. If he weren't hitting people with this kind of stuff, I don't think people would love his Samus nearly as much. And I hope this video helped communicate, I think, some of the bigger reasons why people in general, not only just top players, find Samus very difficult or frustrating to play against. I think some of that frustration is justified. She's a wall. She's a difficult character to play against. But I think some of it could be overcome with some better game plans. I mean, look at people like KJH, right? It's not like he ever loses to Samus. I'm not a Samus hater. I play a ton of Samus, but I think I just wanted to communicate some feelings that I get from the player base in general. But yeah, if you like this style of video where I go over maybe what makes a character frustrating or kind of analyzing their general strengths and weaknesses that tend to give them a certain perception in the community, let me know in the comments. I'd like to do more videos about this. I can think of a Falco video like this being fun and doing pretty well. And if you really liked it, please like or sub. That big project I mentioned is still coming. I promise. Okay, bye. This is too long of an outro. Bye.